Good morning, dear students. Survi, Bhargavi, Yog, Nidhu. So today we are going to uh, continue from where we ended in our last class. So we shall start from here. So you see that there is a conflict between Natalia and Lomov regarding the land. Okay, regarding Oxen Meadows. So Natalia says that Oxen Meadows are theirs. On the other hand, Lomov says no, it is theirs. So there's a conflict going on. So let's find out to what extent the conflict continues. Natalia says it's not true. I'll prove it. I'll send my mawards out to the meadow this very day. Mawards means grass cutters. Okay, a person who cuts the grass with the help of the mawar machine. Okay, so Natalia says I'll send my grass cutter, okay, to the meadow this very day, and I shall prove that this is ours. Lamov says what? My mawars will be there this very day. Natalia says. And then Lamov says, I will give it to them in the neck. Okay. So he said, I will take revenge. I'll beat them. Natalia says, you dare? Then Lamov clutches at his heart. Oxen meadows are mine. You understand? Mine. Then Natalia says, please don't shout. You can shout yourself hoarse in your own house. But here I must ask you to restrain yourself. Restrain means, dear students, restrain means to control yourself. Okay. I must ask you to restrain yourself. Restrain means I must ask you to control yourself. If it wasn't, madam, for this awful excruciating palpitation, if my whole inside wasn't upset, I'd talk to you in a different manner. Oxen meadows are mine. Okay. So Lomov replies, if it wasn't, madam, for this awful excruciating, excruciation means very much painful, excruciating palpitation that has been caused due to your refusal to accept that Oxen Meadows are ours. You are claiming that it is yours. That is why, my palpitation has gone up. That is why I was interacting with you in this manner. If my whole inside wasn't upset, I would talk to you in a different way. Okay, if I was very cool and calm, in that case I could have reacted to you in a different manner. Oxen meadows are mine. Then Natalia says ours. Lomov says mine. Natalia ours. Lomov no mine. Then Natalia's father enters. His name is Chubukov. Chubukov says, what's the matter? What are you shouting for? Natalia says, Papa, please tell this gentleman who owns Oxen Meadows, we or he. Chubukov to Lomov, darling, the meadows are ours. Okay, the meadows are ours. Lomov asks, but please, Stevanovich, how can they be yours? Do be a reasonable man. My aunt's grandmother gave the meadows for the temporary and free use of your grandfather's peasants. The peasants used the land for 40 years and got accustomed to it as if it was their own when it happened that. Okay. Lomov says that Lomov is not in a position to accept the fact that Oxen Meadows are, Chubukov's, okay, or Natalia's, not in a position to accept it. He is trying to defend himself, saying that do be a reasonable man. My aunt's grandmother gave the meadows for the temporary and free use of your grandfather's peasants. Okay, sort of a rent. The peasants used the land for 40 years and got accustomed to it as if it was their own. When it all happened, that Chubukov says, excuse me, my precious, you forget just this, that the peasants did not pay your grandmother and all that because the meadows were in dispute and so on. Meadows were in dispute. It was not yet decided who owned the meadows. Okay, meadows were in dispute and so on. and now everybody knows that they are ours. Now everybody knows that the meadows are ours. It means that you haven't seen the plan. It means that you haven't seen the plan. Lomov says, I will prove to you that they are mine. Lomov says, I shall certainly prove to you that oxen meadows are ours. You won't prove it, my darling. Lomov says, I shall. Chubukov, dear one, why yell like that? You won't prove anything just by yelling. I don't want anything of yours and don't intend to give up what I have. Why should I? And you know, my beloved, that if you propose to go on arguing about it, I would much sooner give up the meadows to the peasants than to you there. Okay, then Chubukov, uh, Nathalia's father, became angry, saying that if you keep arguing on this land any further, then I would prefer to donate the land to the peasants only, not to you, not either of you. Lamov says, I don't understand. How have you the right to give away somebody else's property? Chubukov says, you may take it that I know whether I have the right or not, because, young man, I am not used to being spoken to in that tone of voice and so on. I, young man, am twice your age and ask you to speak to me without agitating yourself and all that. Okay? Uh, I, young man, am twice your age. I am twice your age, and I ask you to speak to me without agitating yourself and all that. Lama says, no, you just think I am a fool and want to have me on. You call my land yours and then you want me to talk to you calmly and politely. Good neighbors don't behave like that, Stevanovich. You are not a neighbor. You are a grabber. Lomov says, you are not a neighbor. You are a grabber because you have grabbed my land. Okay? You have grabbed my land. Chubukov says, what's that? What did you say? Natalia, Papa, send the mowers out to the meadows at once. Send the mowers out to the meadows at once. Chubukov, what did you say, sir? Natalia says, oxen meadows are ours and I shan't give them up. Shan't give them up. Shan't means shall not. Okay, shan't refers to shall not. Give them up. Shan't give them up. Lamov says, we will see. I will have the matter taken to court and then I'll show you. Chubukov, to court? You can take it to court and all that. You can. I know you. You are just on the lookout for a chance to go to court and all that. You petty fogger. All your people were like that, all of them. Lomov says, never mind about my people. The Lomovs have all been honorable people, and not one has ever been tried for embezzlement like your grandfather. Okay, so dear students, Lomov is saying ki, the Lomovs have all been honorable people and they have never been tried. Tried means they have never been accused of any kind of embezzlement. Embezzlement means financial irregularity, okay? Or you can say any for any corruption. Okay, so Lomovs are known for being honorable people, and they have never been tried or executed, or they have never been accused or alleged for involving in any kind of financial corruption or any kind of bribery, any kind of financial irregularities. Okay, like your grandfather. Okay, we are clean people. We are not like you people. Chubukov says, you Lomovs have had lunacy in your family, all of you. Then Chubukov says, you Lomovs have all are very much crazy. You take leave of your senses. Okay, so this is what is the conversation. The conversation goes on in this manner. All Chubukov, your grandfather was a drunkard and your younger aunt Natasha Mikhailovna ran away with an architect. and so on. Lomov says then, and your mother was humpbacked, clutches at his heart, something pulling in my side, my head, help, water. Chubuk says, your father was a guzzling gambler, Natalia, and there haven't been many backbiters to equal your aunt. Okay, so your aunt was also a backbiter. So all this accusation is going on now. Okay, one is accusing the other. You people are not good. He's saying you people, your family is not good. Okay, uncle, aunt, all this. Chubukov says, my left foot has gone to sleep. You are an intriguer, oh my heart, and it is an open secret that before the last elections, I can see stars. Where is my hat? It's low, it's dishonest, it's mean. Chubuk says, and you are just a malicious, double faced intriguer. Yes. Lomov says, here is my hat, my heart. Which way? Where is the door? Oh, I think I'm dying. My foot's quite numb. So Lomov became a bit disappointed, and he's saying, okay, I'm not feeling well, I am not feeling comfortable, I think I shall die. Where is the door? I want to leave. Then goes to the door, Chubukov following him, and don't set foot in my house again. Chubukov says, don't set foot in my house again. Natalia, take it to court, we'll see. You can take it to the court. Lomov staggers out. Chubuk devil take him, walks about in excitement. Natalia, what a rascal! What trust can one have in one's neighbors after that? Chubukov says, the villain, the scarecrow, Natalia, the monster. First, he takes our land and then he has the impudence to abuse us. Okay? Natalia says, first, he has taken our land and then he has the courage to abuse us. Chubukov, and that blind hand, yes, that turnip ghost has the confounded cheek to make a proposal and so on. What? A proposal? Natalia says, what proposal? Chubukov, why, he came here to propose to you. Natalia, to propose to me? Why didn't you tell me so before? Chubukov says, so he dresses up in evening clothes, the stuffed soldiers, the wizen-faced frump. So they are scolding him actually. These are all scolding words. To propose to me, falls into an easy chair and wails, bring me back, bring him back, bring him here. Bring whom here? Natalia, quick, quick, I'm ill, fetch him. Hysterics. What is that? What is the matter with you? Clutches at his head. Oh, unhappy man that I am. I'll shoot myself. I'll hang myself. We've done for her. I am. I'm dying. Fetch him. At once, don't yell. Runs out. A pause. Natalia Stevanovna wails. What have they done to me? Natalia says, fetch him back, fetch him. A pause. Chubukov runs in. Chubukov says, he is coming, and so on. Devil, take him out. Talk to him yourself. I don't want to. Natalia wails, fetch him. Chubukov yells, he's coming, I tell you. Oh, what a burden, Lord, to be the father of a grown-up daughter. I'll cut my throat, I will, indeed. We cursed him, abused him, drove him out, and it's all you, you. No, it was you. Natalia says, it was you. Chubukov, I tell you, it's not my fault. Lomov appears at the door. Now you talk to him yourself. Lomov enters exhausted. Lomov says, my heart's palpitating awfully. My foot's gone to sleep. Means my foot is not working. There's something that keeps pulling in my side. Forgive us, Natalia says, forgive us, Ivan Vasilevich. We were all a little heated. I remember now, Oxen Meadows really are yours. My goodness. Natalia is saying, no, we were all little bit argumentative. Oxen Meadows belong to you. My heart is beating awfully, Lomov says. My meadows, my eyebrows are both twitching. The meadows are yours. Yes, yours. Do sit down. They sit. We were wrong. Lomov says, I did it on principle. My land is worth little to me, but the principle. Yes, the principle. Just so. Now let's talk of something else. Lomov says, the more so as I have evidence, my aunt's grandmother gave the land to your father's grandfather's peasants. Yes, yes, let that pass aside. I wish I knew how to get him started. Are you going to start shooting soon? I am thinking of having a go at the Black Cock, honored Natalia Stevanovna, after the harvest. Oh, have you heard? Just think what a misfortune I have had. My dog, guess who you know, has gone lame. Now they have, changed their conversation. Now they have changed their conversation. Now they will talk about their dog. Okay, they have switched from the quarrel over their land, disputed land, to their pets, now to their dogs and all that. So this is how the conversation will go on and on and on. Okay, let's find out. uh, what a pity. Why? I don't know. Must have got his leg twisted or beaten by some other dog. My very best dog, to say nothing of the expense. I gave Mironov 125 rubles for him. It was too much, Ivan Vasilovich. I think it was very cheap. He is a first-rate dog. Natalia says, Papa gave 85 rubles for his squeezer, and squeezer is heaps better than gas. Okay, these are all the kind of breed dogs, Squeezer better than gas. What an idea, love. Squeezer better than gas. Of course, he is better. Of course, Squeezer is young. He may develop a bit, but on points and pedigree, he is better than anything that even Volchansky has got. Excuse me, Natalia Stevanovna, but you forget that he is overshot, and an overshot always means the dog is a bad temper. Overshot? Is he? The first time I hear it, I assure you that his lower jaw is shorter than the upper. Have you measured? Yes, he is all right at following, of course, but if you want to get hold of anything, Natalia says, in the first place, our squeezer is a thoroughbred animal, the son of harness and chisels. While there is no getting at the pedigree of your dog at all, he is old, as ugly as a worn out cab horse. So now the quarrel is over the dogs. Whose dog is better? Lomov says he is old, but I won't take first squeezers for him. Why? How can you guess he's a dog? As for squeezers, well, it's too funny to argue. Anybody you like has a dog as good as squeezer. You may find them under every bush almost. 25 rubles would be a handsome price to pay for him. Natalia says, there is some demon of contradiction in you today, Ivan Vasilovich. First, you pretend that the meadows are yours. Now that gas is better than squeezer. I don't like people who don't say what they mean, because you know perfectly well that squeezer is 100 times better than your silly guess. Why do you want to say he isn't? Okay, now, now Natalia wants to establish that Squeezer, the dog, is much better than the dog of Lomov, that is Guess. Why do you want to say he isn't? Lomov says, I see, Natalia Stevanovna, that you consider me either blind or a fool. You must realize that Squeezer is overshot. It is not true. Overshot means Squeezer is a bit old. Natalia says, it's not true. Lomov says, he is. Natalia, it's not true. Lamov, why shout, madam? Natalia, why talk rot? It's awful. It's time your guess was shot and you compare him with Squeezer. Excuse me, I cannot continue this discussion. My heart is palpitating. Natalia, I have noticed that those hunters argue most who know least. Okay, she says, I have noticed that those hunters argue most who know least. Madam, please be silent. My heart is going to pieces. Shut up. Natalia, I shan't shut up until you acknowledge that squeezer is 100 times better than your guess. Okay? A 100 times worse. Be hanged to your squeezer. His head, eyes, shoulder. Then Natalia says, there is no need to hang your silly guess. He is half dead already. Natalia says, your guess is half dead already. He is so much old and silly. Like it cannot be compared to my squeezer. Lomov started crying, saying, shut up, my heart's bursting. Natalia, I shan't shut up. Then Chubukov enters. Chubukov says, what is the matter now? Natalia, Papa, tell us truly, which is the better dog, our squeezer or his gas? Lomov, Steven Stevanovich, I implore you to tell me just one thing. Is your squeezer overshot or not? Yes or no? And suppose he is, what does it matter? He is the best dog in the district for all that and so on. But isn't my guess better? Really? Now? Don't excite yourself, my precious one. Allow me, your guess certainly has his good points. He is purebred, firm on his feet, has well sprung ribs, and all that. But, my dear man, if you want to know the truth, that dog has two defects, Chubukov says. Two defects. He is old, number one, and he is short in the muzzle. Lomov says, excuse me, my heart, let's take the facts. You will remember that on the Marusingsi hunt, my guess ran neck and neck with the Count's dog while your squeezer was left a whole burst behind. Burst behind. So the conversation is between these two regarding their respective pet dogs. So none of them are in a position to accept that theirs is. I mean, none of them are in a position to accept that the other dog is better. So this is how the conversation goes on. He got left behind because of the count's whipper in hit him with his whip. So either of the parties are trying to, both the parties are trying to sort of justify that theirs is the better. So this is the problem. Nobody is conceding. Okay, nobody is conceding. Everybody is claiming that it is theirs is better. Okay, so this is how the conversation goes on and on and on till they decide, okay, on a come to a particular point. Let's see how does it settle down. uh, Omkar, Miraj, good morning. Yog, good morning. Arpita, Madhu, Pramanshu. But still very few students. How will they manage to pass out? They will pass out, but the percentage will be very negligible, I think. Those who are not attending regular classes, only few of you are there. Steven Stevanovic says, I implore you to tell me just one thing. Is your squeezer overshot or not? Yes or no? Chubukov says, and suppose he is, what does it matter? He is the best dog in the district for all that and so on. But isn't my guess better? Really? Now? Chubukov, don't excite yourself, my precious one. Allow me. Your guest certainly has his good points. He is purebred, firm on his feet, has well sprung ribs, and all that. But, my dear man, if you want to know the truth, that dog has two defects. He is old and he is short in the muzzle. Lomov says, excuse me, my heart, let's take the facts. You will remember that on the Marusinski hunt, my guests ran neck and neck with the Count's dog. There is a competition which Lomova refers to here, while your squeezer was left a whole burst behind. Okay, in the competition, dogs competition, your squeezer was left behind, whereas my guess, okay, was very fast. Chubuko, he got left behind because the count's whipper in hit him with his whip. Okay, because he was hit with something. Lamau says, and with good reason, the dogs are running after a fox when Squeezer goes and starts worrying a sheep. Uh, Lomov says, with the good reason, the dogs are running after a fox. When Squeezer was worrying a sheep, Squeezer was after a sheep. Chubukov says, it's not true, my dear fellow. I am very liable to lose my temper. And so, just because of that, let's stop arguing. You started because everybody is always jealous of everybody else's dogs. Yes, we are all like that. You too, sir, aren't blameless. You no sooner begin with this, that, and the other, and all that. I remember everything. I remember too. Chubukov teasing him, I remember too. What do you remember? My heart, my foot's gone to sleep, I can't. Natalia teasing, my heart, what sort of a hunter are you? You ought to go and lie on the kitchen oven and catch black beetles, not go after foxes, my heart. Chubukov, yes, really, what sort of a hunter are you anyway? You ought to sit at home with your palpitations and not go tracking animals. You could go hunting, but you only go to argue with people and interfere with their dogs and so on. Let's change the subject in case I lose my temper. You are not a hunter at all, anyway. And are you a hunter? Lomov asked. You only go on hunting to get in with the count and to intrigue. Oh, my heart, you are an intriguer. Chubuk says, what? I am an intriguer? Shut up. Intriguer means, dear students, a person who makes plot against someone. Okay, a person who hatches a plot, or who is involved in kind of a conspiracy to cause harm to others. Okay, he is called an intriguer. So I'm an intriguer. Mm, I'm an intriguer, shouts, shut up. Intriguer, Lamov says. Chubukov, boy, pup, old rat, Jesuit. Shut up, or I will shoot you like a partridge, you fool, Lomov. Everybody knows that. Oh, my heart, your late wife used to beat you. My feet, temple sparks. I feel, I fall, I fall. Chubukov, and you were under the slipper of your housekeeper. Chubukov says, you are under the slipper of your housekeeper. Again, they've changed the subject, and one is disrespecting the other, one is insulting the other. These sort of activities they are involved into. Okay. Lomov says, there, my heart's burst, my shoulders come off. Where is my shoulder? I die. A doctor, boy, milk shop full, I am sick, drinks water, sick. What sort of a hunter are you? You can't even sit on a horse. To her father, Papa, what's the matter with him? Papa, look, Papa, Ivan Vasilovich, he's dead. Chubukov, I am sick, I can't breathe air. Natalia, he's dead, pulls Lomov's sleeve. Ivan Vasilovich, what have you done to me? He's dead. Falls into an armchair. A doctor, a doctor. Hysterics. Chubukov says, oh, what is it? What's the matter? Natalia, he's dead, dead. Okay, but he has gone unconscious, might be, but he is not dead. Chubukov, who is dead, looks at Lomov. So he is, my word, water. A doctor lifts a tumbler to Lomov's mouth. Drink this. No, he does not drink. It means he is dead. And all that. I am most unhappy of man. Why don't I put a bullet into my brain? Why haven't I cut my throat yet? What am I waiting for? Give me a knife, give me a pistol. Lamov moves. He seems to be coming round. Drink some water. That's right. Lamov, I see stars mist. Where am I? Hurry up and get married, and well, to the devil with you. She's willing. Uh, he puts Lomov's hand into his daughter's. She's willing and all that. I give you my blessing and so on. Only leave me in peace. Lomov getting up. Yeah, what? To whom? She's willing. Well, kiss and be damned to you. Well, she's alive. Yes, yes, I'm willing. And Natalia also responds to her father saying that yes, I'm interested. I'm willing to marry you. Then they kiss each other. Kiss whom? They kiss. Very nice too. Excuse me. What's this all about? Oh, now I understand. My heart starts. I'm happy. Natalia Stevanova kisses her hand. My foot's gone to sleep. Oh, I'm happy too. Natalia says. What a weight off my shoulders. Chubukov says, being a father, he says, what a weight off, because having a daughter, is a sort of a burden for a father. They used to consider before. Nowadays, it's not so, of course, but earlier they used to think like that. So when Lomov became interested to marry Natalia, Chubukov became very, very relieved. So he said, what a weight off my shoulders. But still, you will admit now that gas is worse than squeezer. Natalia says, but still, you will say that gas is worse than squeezer. Still, you will admit now that gas is worse than squeezer. Lomov says better. Um, Lomov says no, gas is better than squeezer, not worse than squeezer. Gas is better than squeezer. Gas is his dog and squeezer is Natalia's dog. Then Natalia says worse. No, gas is worse than squeezer. Chubukov, well, that's a way to start your family. Please have some champagne. He is better. Lomov then says he again says he is better. Natalia, words, and then Chubukov trying to shout her down, champagne, okay, and that's how they have celebrated their marriage. Natalia and uh, Natalia and Lomov, they are getting married with one another, and their father has supported them, and he appears to be celebrating their marriage with champagne. Okay, so that's how the story comes to an end. Even though Chubukov had interest for Lomov, but they were still engaged in some sort of a quarrel, okay, from one topic to another. So the question is, dear students, why do you think uh, Natalia and Lomov were engaged in a petty quarrel? What did they achieve? What was the purpose of the quarrel? Why do you think they were quarreling over their lands, over their dogs? Uh, why? Why do you think they were involved in so much of petty quarrels? So you can think of this matter once and let me know. I'd like to know your responses on this. Okay, eventually the marriage had to take place between Natalia and Lamov. The marriage did take place, but in spite of that, why do you think they have engaged themselves in petty quarrels? First over their land and then over the dogs. So please do think about this. I shall ask you in my next class your responses. Okay. So thank you, dear students. So before you, mm, uh, before we end our lesson, you please just write down yes. Text me yes, so that I can take your attendance. I can understand that you are there with me till the end. Concurrent years only 3 30 2.57. Okay, thank you, Nidhu, Niraj, Omkar, uh, Pramanshu, Pramanshu. Hmm. Dear students, I'm working on your notes, those lessons which are left out. I am writing answers on those of those lessons, and I shall certainly send you links. You can update your lessons. Okay, you can update your notebook, and I shall give you one project very shortly, dear students, which you will have to do, because CBSE has asked for this project, and this project has been uh, we have been instructed to make this project your internal assess part of your internal assessment. So therefore you please complete this project. I shall be sending you very shortly. You have around 2 weeks time to complete the project. Okay, so whatever resources you have at home, with the help of which you shall be able to do it. Okay, so I shall send you very shortly, and in the meantime, whenever I send you the link, you please update your lesson notes. Okay, and uh, ASL activity also, you can practice a little bit, because ASL marks are also there now. So at least one listening skill, one speaking skill, at least two worksheets you do. I shall send you the link. You please complete two worksheets and upload on Google Classroom so that I can check your answers. Okay, if you upload on Google Classroom the ASL task which I shall send you now, I shall certainly check your activities and will give you feedback later on. Okay, thank you, dear students. Bye bye. Take care and have a nice day.